What course are we going to talk about today?
I'm going to talk about an engineering experimentation course. It is ME 3902, online engineering experimentation.
And what does the course ask students to do?
Well, there are a couple of things we ask students to do. Number one, they learn the measurement techniques, such as temperature measurement, stress strain measurements, and pressure measurements. And second, they also do a project in this course that culminates all the measurement techniques they learn throughout the course.
What motivated you to redesign the course?
So first of all, we would like to have our engineering experimentation class to be able to run online. And second, we were aware of the fact that not all workforce or workplaces have the high-end equipment that we have in our laboratories in mechanical engineering. So we wanted to use equipment that is available at a lower cost, and that was our second motivation.
More than that, so many of our graduates were going to work for mom and pop organizations, and they were going to work for NGOs, and they just didn't have the necessary finances to supply the state-of-art equipment that we were using in 3901. So therefore, we were not really doing the appropriate service to our students.
So Valerie, how did collaborating with John and John help with redesigning the course?
Yeah, so it was actually a really great experience. Redesign process wanted to take a learner-centered approach to course design. So rather than focusing on what they wanted to teach, we decided to really focus on the skills and competencies that students would achieve or be able to do at the end of the course. So we kind of did a backwards design approach where we started focusing on what are the student learning outcomes for the course. And then from there, that helped us develop what kind of evidence and assessment activities we would need for the course. And then from that, the next step would then be developing all of the content, the videos, lecture notes, activities, things like that, that the students would be learning in the class.
I definitely agree with Valerie. What she said really was right there. The whole idea of using this backward design methodology was really great. We actually sat there and we figured out what were the learning outcomes that we wanted these students to know. And then having this Faculty Institute for Online Teaching, it really allowed us, it gave us the guidance for how we could work from these desired learning outcomes and then structure the course sequentially so that the students could progressively become more and more accomplished in the tasks.
We worked to design the course, but then when we get to the point of evaluation, we looped in Kimberly. Kimberly, can you talk to what you thought was most important to measure in the course?
Sure. So when I first had conversations with the two of them about the course, I knew that it was important to capture the location, and being able to compare where students were seemed to have a big spot in how they were thinking about the value of the course, from going from intense laboratory experience to having materials that were easily accessible no matter where the student is. So we use the student assessment of their learning gains, which is picking up steam on campus. It's a great tool because it asks students to reflect on their learning and attribute what part of their learning activities in the course were most helpful to them, so that we can really start to figure out students' experiences of their learning in addition to how we grade them in a course.
So why did you choose the SALC tool as a way to measure what was going on in the course?
So I've been recommending that faculty use this tool because it's nationally validated. Close to 1 million students have used this across many different campuses, and it was created with support from the NSF, so it's also great in grants.
What were your conclusions of the survey results?
I think the most important thing that we found out was that students who completed this course entirely from home, wherever home was, they did not have any significant differences from students who were able to come in person. I thought it was fantastic to see, and I'm sure that you agree, the aspects of the course that students found most helpful for their own learning were the ones that were redesigned to be really student-centered active learning. So the final open-ended project, the lab experiments, and having the course designed in a way that was easy to navigate, which you highlighted with Valerie and the importance of that. What did you want students to be able to do as a result of the course that they weren't getting before you redesigned it?
To me, kind of the most desirable outcome was that the students had the confidence that they could do something. And building that confidence, I thought, was really great, especially with the open-ended project where they had to take at least 3 or more of the sensors and or controls and really do a project that they wanted to do.
So Caitlin and Valerie, for those who haven't worked with you before, what do you do as instructional designers?
Primarily, we serve as the learning expert. So faculty come in as subject matter experts. They know their content, but we can help work with them to figure out the best way to deliver that content in order to meet the outcomes that they're hoping students will achieve.
So another thing that we do as instructional designers is that we also sit within the IT organization here at WPI. So we have a lot of background and skills with the different tools and technologies that are available to faculty. So we can make recommendations to faculty based on their needs for the course and whatever their learning objectives are. I was able to review it with the lens of a student, thinking about how might a student approach this material, what pieces made sense, where might we need to revise or refine. What we ended up putting together was the most effective presentation of the material that would be the most useful for student learning.